Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Death Stranding. We're now on Steam, please go wishlist it. After posting my last video, I once again went into a frenzy trying to keep up with all the notifications. I got lots of new Patreon supporters, the Discord got boosted to level 3, and you were all very curious about the sandwich incident. The new update got good feedback too. The custom music player was very well received, along with the new ice mechanic, as long as people understood how it works. There was a small percentage of players who just gunned it across the ice, then were confused why they fell through. There was also a horrible stuttering bug on lower-end computers that I fixed thanks to a new plugin called Runtime Vertex Paint and Detection. Also, you guys really liked the 𝓕𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓴���. It was inevitable, wasn't it? Someone by the name of Muffin Man is even making a 𝓕𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓴��� dating sim with the help of some of the fan artists.
Didn't you see the signs to keep away? That ice is dangerous.
I'm well aware of the dangers, ma'am. This is my job.
Please give me your babies.
After fixing bugs with the 𝓕𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓴��� build, I started working on the new map. At first I was going to make a Christmas-themed version just for my Patreon supporters, then a non-Christmas one for everyone else. But on the night before Christmas, I was in a really good mood, and I shared it with everyone. In case you're wondering, almost everything Christmas related for this build will be reused for the final game. The fairy lights, for example, were something I had to make anyways, since I want UV lights to be something that's considered sacred to the vitamin D deficient bunker people living below. Overall, the new landscape is about 30% finished. I'm really happy with how it's turning out, especially this first area, and so far you guys seem to agree. I said in my last devlog the mountain in the middle would be 1.2 kilometers tall, however,
I lied!
It's actually 2.1 kilometers tall. Towards the end of the game, I want to have a very desolate, high-altitude mountainous region, and while testing, 800 meters felt like a good distance to have to climb to reach it. But the problem with that was that it made the mountain in the middle look way too small in comparison, so I had to make it bigger too. The new map has two new upgrades, cruise control and a very early prototype of a grapple, which will be one of the core upgrades needed later in the game, although that area hasn't been added yet. Even though there's no sounds yet and the physics look awful, I have to say this thing is ridiculously fun. I also made a bridge generator with some tunnels leading into the mountains. In the future, I definitely want to have interiors you can drive into, but I was having issues getting the transition into them to look right, so it didn't make the cut for this last build. The new settlements also have more interesting and logical names this time, and the things you deliver actually make sense with the story and lore I have planned, rather than just copying Girls Last Tour. And speaking of story, I've been doing a lot of planning for it lately and writing out a few rough drafts. I've never made a story for a game this big before, so obviously I'm nervous about getting it right. The last thing I want to do is butcher a game people love with a bad story, so I've been talking with a story writer my artist introduced me to, which I really think is going to help. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to spoil my own game, but I did want to show off the concept art for the claw arm operator you'll be traveling with. I think my artist did a really great Anyways, I also added a new perk for Patreon supporters, development live streams. My team suggested it to me, and honestly, I didn't understand the appeal at first.
Wow, this is garbage.
You actually like this?
But people say it's like a cafe vibe where we're all doing our own thing while relaxing and listening to the same music. It helps me focus too though, because it's kind of like having your boss constantly leaning over your shoulder. But your boss is actually just a chill guy who's really encouraging. We also watched Girls Last Tour together over the Christmas break, which was the main inspiration for Deep Snow Delivery. I also started streaming myself playing other games too, like The Long Dark and Made in Abyss Binary Star on permadeath.
I just imagined 𝓕𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓴��� just streaming development or playing stuff.
My goodness, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Damn, someone would have to make the model for me though.
Today, I have experience in PNG tuber and VTuber models. I can help if you're getting into it. You got a Sona?
A what?
A character that represents yourself. Like furson but no fur.
Let me get a boneless pizza with a 2-liter of Coke.
After some time, the artist 𝓕𝓻𝓮𝓪𝓴��� cooked up this awesome VTuber model for me to use free of charge.
Oh! For 5 minutes. Could you not be yourself? For 5 minutes!
Also, I almost forgot. After my last video, I did a poll asking if I should get a better mic or not, and you guys said I should get an even worse one. So I asked for advice on which mic would sound the worst, but since my mic is apparently the worst on the planet, forged in the heart of a dying Modern Warfare 2 lobby, I'll have to see if I can make it worse with FL Studio.